Hey everyone, welcome back to I Create For You. As I said in one of my videos that I was thinking of taking a walk down our canal path that's right near our house. That's I-78 up there. And this is the canal right here. And this path right here is the old tow path. This is the path that they use to, I believe, use mules and horses to help pull or guide the tugboats that come through here. So if we're lucky, we just might see some turtles that love to hang out here. And let's see, I don't see any turtles right now, but I'll just go forward with this. There were some people ahead of us. We left them walk a little bit on further on so we wouldn't disturb them and they wouldn't disturb us. But here's a pan out of the sides of the canal. Back in through there, that's the Schuylkill River. It's getting nice and green now. This used to be a lot deeper, but you can see how deep, how high up we are from the water. And a little sludgy in there. But if I can catch some turtles, look at these pretty flowers along our walk, little purple ones. Signs of spring. And then the elusive poison ivy. Okay. Let's see what we can find. I'll just keep panning around so you can see, make you seasick. A lot of trees fell over the winter. Another little look at that. The tree going across. This one, look at how this one fell. You can see roots at the end. Went straight across. But I'm pretty sure that the turtles will like that. Because on this side where the canal was, or somewhat still is, they would jump up on the logs and sun themselves. It's a nice walk, nice nature walk, except for the sound of the highway. You can still hear the birdies. I think I see a turtle. And as we go up this way a little bit, I'm going to pan. Look at this big tree that fell. It was a huge one. Look at that. That is one huge tree. And it looks like it split a little bit, so go over this way. Look at that. It's a huge tree that fell. Okay, I thought I saw, yes, we have a ton of turtles. Stop it. Okay, I'm gonna pan over and I'm gonna let you see all these turtles on a log. Can you see all them? They're all sunning themselves. Isn't that awesome? Oh my God, I wasn't recording that whole time. I wasn't recording that whole time. Okay, I'm gonna go back and read this sign to you guys. I don't think it was from the start, but I have to show you this. I have to read this again. We're down at the bottom. There's the Schuylkill River. We're at the end of the canal lock, and we have this little trail that goes across, and this heads out to Port Clinton Avenue, the street that we live on. And this is what we were walking along. You can see how dried up it's getting. And then over here on the other side, it's a lot prettier. It has good landscape in there. Back through there are homes. I'll read this again for you. I didn't realize that I had you on pause this whole time, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to give you a little history tip. I found this at the end. It says, boat docking along Port Clinton Avenue. See those boats? This photograph below shows the pool just above Callbox Garber's Lock, where the boats would very often lay up and sometimes winter. This lock is just to the north of where you are standing along present-day Port Clinton Avenue. When the canal was finally closed, 3 of the boats were left to rot at this location. Canal boats averaged about 80 feet in length. However, some of the river boats could reach a length close to 100 feet. These were not used in the canal itself, but spent most of their time in lighter service at ports like New York City, and would only use the canal to go to and return from these remote locations, spending the entire shipping season there. These river boats were able to carry close to 300 tons. The Schuylkill Navigation Canal was unique in its construction, being roughly 110 miles in length, stretching from Schuylkill Haven to Philadelphia, and being roughly 1/2 navigable water using slack water pools created by damming the river. The highest one on the system was the Big Blue Mountain Dam at Kernsville at 29 feet plus, and the balance being actual canal and locking systems. Over here we have another information board. It's actually called the Etchberger Trailhead because it's one of our what do you want to call it? Veterans. They named it after him. And we're going to head back down through. I had such good footage, and I was wondering why it was staying on 4 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute. All that talking and walking, and we only used up 4 minutes? That's not right. So then I was like, oh crap. I forgot to unpause you guys. So we're going to head back through here. I don't even know if you got to see the birds that were flying above us. They were kind of big ones. They were hawks. And there are a lot of hawks. In fact, we have a mountain here called Hawk Mountain. And I'm going to show you this tree that Mark found that has fungus growing off of it. So, you see that fungus up there? And then there's fungus coming up out the top there. Right there some. And then there's a little piece there. And there's some there. I'm so sorry, people. I'll get better. I promise. But at least I was down at this end. If I would have been at the other end and figured out that I hadn't been taping, that would have been horrible. This was the point that we were going to walk to. I told you about, and I don't know if you got to hear me say it, because I don't know at what point I stopped. But anyway, it's an Eagle project. Dan Himmelberger was with the Eagle Scout who made this little seated place. And it's right at the bend of the Schuylkill River. So it's a nice view. And of course, wood, a little carving in the wood along here. Fun stuff. I gotta watch myself. They need to repair that a little bit. Anywho, here we go. Mark's ready. He's ready to go back home and relax. He just got off of work not too long ago, and I asked him if we could take a little walk down the trail here so I could tape it and let you guys see what our lock area looked like. Aw. They also did, every so often, this would have been a birdhouse. So they got probably ruined by the weather. There's not too much vandalism here on this trail, so that's a good thing. And I was commenting, so if I repeat myself, I'm sorry, because I'm not sure at what point I accidentally paused you guys, but I've never seen in all my years the canal that dried up, ever. I've never seen the bottom of it. I hope you guys got to see all the turtles. I'm pretty sure you did, because that was in the beginning of the video. So, I don't know if you guys, is this, Mark, is this a gypsy moth? Oh, he found something. So we'll head up that way. We have gypsy moth here in Pennsylvania, and they really destroyed the trees. And also there are lantern flies that kill the trees here. And it's supposed to be a imported bug. Of course, Mr. Pest Control has found,
see the little wings on the back?
Termites.
Those are swarmers. I flipped this over.
On the bark here.
They look like
That's pretty
ants.
cool bark, isn't it?
Look like ants, but when their wings are completely...
Look at this. Here's a larvae of some kind. I don't know what it is. It's see-through. It's almost see-through.
Yeah, those are... See how
Pesky little buggers.
See how their wings go straight over each other? Those are termites, but if your wings are like this over the back, they're ants.
Yuck. Either way, here I thought this was a unique character of some of their trees, where the vines come up around them. See that? It's pretty cool. This is a nice trail. I'm glad I could bring you guys along on it. I thought you might like it. And I'm going to, when it gets a little more full, like we still have a lot of bareness on the trees. This really gets full of trees, full of leaves and stuff. What is that? Huh? Oh yes. He loves making walking sticks. Look at this one. Look at that. That is awesomeness. Like I said, there's a lot of them like that.
Look at this one. Got twisted down all the way.
There's another twisted one, he said. I think that's how I paused you guys before. I was walking along, zooming in and out, and then boom, I paused you guys accidentally. And I don't even have big fingers. Here, this, Mark. I don't know if you know anything about gypsy moth.
Talking about the worms.
That right there.
The worms. Yeah, the worms.
Well, they're called gypsy moths.
There's worms in there.
Ugh. No, thank you.
And they'll kill your
When you
tree.
see, yeah, when you see them, you can see them on the. You really don't want to mess with those either. And if we come up upon some more turtles in our walk, I will make sure that I have you guys in mind and to see them.
Are you sure you're recording?
Yes, I am. I see the time's moving right now, so it's a lot better. I can see it. I was looking, and we got down to the end, and it was like at 4:15. I'm like, seriously? That only took 4 minutes? And then I was like, wait a minute, that time's not moving. Beautiful Schuylkill River. And there's people driving on the Port Clinton Avenue. That's where we live. Oh, I see a cardinal. Let me see if you can see that. Let me see if I can get him straight ahead. I don't know if I can see him or not. I don't know if you guys can see him in there. Huh.
Come here.
No wait, I see a cardinal.
These guys are actually carrying leaves on their backs.
I'm trying to find this cardinal, and I can't find him on the camera. Dang it, beautiful red cardinal. It was a beautiful red one. I'll try to get him. Mark has a insect thing.
Look at it, it's a whole, look at them carrying little, they're carrying little things on their backs.
See? See this guy right here? He's the one carrying something. Oh yeah, did you ever hear like don't poke the bear? Don't poke the hole. Nope.
Come on.
That is not right. Now I'm hoping if I go up along here a little bit, I can get this cardinal without so many trees. Let me see. As long as he doesn't see me. I get his, oh, he flew away. Poopy. Poopy. Beautiful cardinal. I missed the cardinal. I couldn't see him. I don't know. I'd have to look back on the footage to see if you could actually see him.
That little birdhouse we have at the back of the yard, there was a cardinal there this morning sitting up there on top of that.
I don't know where he flew to. We even passed some people on here, so I'm a figuring we didn't catch them either. What is that?
Trash.
Nice. I wonder how long that's been there. That could have been underwater, for gosh sakes. And when we were walking along here, there was actually somebody on the other side of the river that was fishing. I don't know if I got that on tape either. But, see, there's waterworks there. We're probably going to be coming up on turtles soon, because I just saw some rings in the water, so lots of these. Oh, look at that. Like I said, turtles. Just in case I missed it before. They come out and they sun themselves. Okay. What?
That little thing.
Yep.
Yeah. See those little there.
And these pretty purple flowers. Look how calm the water is. Really pretty day. There was a great big tree that fell up here a little ways. I'm going to show. Well, that's discerning. Is that like a tent? Is that a tent over there? Here, I'll show you guys. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. I hope that's not a tent. That's an awful thought. And we have somebody coming down the trail. I'll try not to film them because I don't know if they would like that. Mark's looking for more bugs, I believe.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh yeah, that's your string. Oh, nice. Hello. Gotta find some of those turtles. Our trees here are so interesting looking. Look at the bark on this one. Isn't that just odd, the way it looks? Some more of those viney things. A lot of those viney things. You can see how tall the trees are here along the walkway. There's Mark, and look at how tall the trees are. Alrighty. Oh, I feel so good getting out and walking. It's one of my goals for the summer is to walk every day, every nice day, that is. Hopefully. Need to trim down some. I always say that. Winter, get a little, pack on a little bit because you're not being able to go out and do whatever. There's a bottle, a green one. It's not broken or anything. I said we should have brought a trash bag. Okay, turtles. We're coming up on you soon. Just get to look at the canal a little bit. And up there's a vehicle. That's how high up the bank goes. Okay, we're getting into the turtle territory. As long as we're a little bit quiet. Yeah, I'm going to show you this sign. There we go. Shh, don't walk. Here. Look at this. Look at that. We found some again. They're looking at me like, what are you doing? Before, when we went past, they got some more here. They'll probably jump off, or just one little guy right there. Two little guys. Before, when we passed, that log was totally full. I hope I got that before. And like I said, if you hadn't heard me before say it, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, because like I said, I don't know where that 4 minutes ended. They're mostly red ear sliders that are living in here. Oh yeah, and I don't remember. I don't know if I caught it. I'm going to back up here and show you this huge tree that fell. Look how big that tree is. It is huge. Just, I can't imagine what that would have sounded like falling over. Is that saying if a tree falls in the wood, does anyone hear it? I don't know what that saying is. But that's what I'm thinking right now. Lots of trees fell. That one going across there. And look at this big old tree stump. Look at that one. That's a pretty big one. Look at all the pretty flowers, the purple flowers. Look at this booger. I don't even know if I could get it all. This is one tree split in two. Isn't that amazing? But it's actually one tree. Because down here at the bottom is where it's connected. Right in here. Sorry, I made it blurry putting my finger up there. Another one of those windy trees, those going around the vines. Here's a shot for you. The sun peeking through the trees. Beautiful. And that's it, folks. We're coming up on Route 78, which is right up there. That's the bridge that goes Interstate 78. Allentown's that way. Harrisburg's that way. And that would be the end of the road here. We're at the end of the trail, but look at how big and thick. Just before we go, I gotta show you this. I'm gonna have Mark stand on this side. He walked down this way. Mark, stand right next to that tree. The tree that's next to you right there, stand right next to it. Just so how big it is. Look how big and thick that is. That's one huge tree. All the way up there. And I will leave you with that. Thanks so much for watching. These are all ferns. Squirrel. And here's a long distance look of the trail that we were just on. Thanks so much for watching. I will be putting up a few more of these as the weather gets nicer. And like I said before, when we do our ghost stories, and we're going to try to get out to the places that are close by, or maybe not even so close by, and film them so you get a better perspective of where these ghost stories evolved and the sightings are. And we'll see you, Mark. Don't forget to wave bye, everybody. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you on the next adventure. Bye-bye.